Welcome to the Deep Dive. We cut through the noise to bring you knowledge you can actually use. So if you're running your own nutrition or wellness practice, you know the deal. Demand's up, which is fantastic. But wow, so is the competition. Today, we're really digging into that big question. How do you move past just hoping clients tell their friends about you? How do you build like a reliable system for referrals and keeping clients coming back?
Yeah, it's that administrative piece, isn't it? It's like this invisible ceiling for so many solo practitioners or small clinics. You've only got so many hours in the day. And, every minute you spend typing up a follow-up email or scheduling or trying to track who referred whom, or even just resizing a photo.
Right. That's a minute you're not spending with a client or thinking strategically about your practice.
Exactly. And the real kicker is the better you are with clients, the more referrals you should get, but that just creates more admin. It's this exhausting loop.
Totally. Well, the good news is our sources lay out a really systematic way to tackle this. And it's not about, hiring a massive marketing agency or coding custom software from scratch. It's more about cleverly connecting affordable tools, AI, and automation tools that are already out there. So the mission for this deep dive is to map out precisely how small practices can swap those manual time-sucking processes for something automated, something that consistently fuels growth through loyalty and referrals. We're going to show you the pieces and how they actually connect.
It really is about building a kind of strategic architecture for your operations. We're moving past having separate apps that don't talk to each other. Instead, it's an integrated stack. And these 5 specific tools we're looking at, Make.com, Notion, OpenAI, Cloudinary, and Apify, they're really leveling the playing field.
Leveling the playing field. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, because they're accessible enough, cost-wise and usability-wise for even a one-person shop. But they're powerful enough to handle potentially thousands of client interactions really efficiently.
Okay, that sounds amazing. Almost too good to be true for someone juggling everything solo. But when you say integrated stack, automation, APIs, I think the immediate worry is, oh gosh, this sounds complicated, or do I need to learn to code? So let me break that down first. What does each specific tool do in this system and why these 5?
Good question. They're chosen because each one is really good at its specific job, and they're designed to connect easily. That's where Make.com comes in. Think of Make.com as like the conductor of an orchestra, or maybe the central bridge.
Okay, the bridge, connecting thing.
Exactly. It's the automation engine. So let's say a client hits a goal in one app you use. Make.com sees that change and tells another app to do something, maybe send a personalized email or update a checklist in a different system or log it somewhere else. It just cuts out all that manual data entry, moving info between systems, saves tons of time.
Gotcha. It's the glue holding it all together.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Now, what about keeping everything organized? If you're growing, you need your processes documented, your knowledge accessible. Is that Notion?
That's Notion, precisely. Notion becomes the central brain of your practice's operations. But it's more than just digital notebooks. When you connect it via Make.com, it holds your standard operating procedures, your SOPs.
Right. The repeatable steps.
Your client onboarding checklist, maybe meeting notes templates, content calendars. So, for example, Make.com sees a new client sign up on your website. It can instantly tell Notion to create the right onboarding checklist for the specific service they bought. You don't have to remember to do it manually, which means every client gets that consistent, high-touch experience.
Okay, organization and orchestration covered. Now, communication and engagement, that's huge for loyalty. How does OpenAI fit in? How do you use AI without sounding like a robot?
That's the key question, isn't it? OpenAI is the communication and insight engine. This goes way beyond just basic email templates. It lets you automate highly personalized follow-ups, thank you messages, appointment reminders. Because Make.com can feed it client data like their recent progress, maybe even the tone of their last message. OpenAI can draft responses that feel genuinely tailored and empathetic, not canned.
Wow, okay.
And another big thing, it's AI chat features. They can handle a lot of those initial common questions potential clients ask. What are your hours? Do you take insurance? That frees you, the expert, up for the really deep consultations.
That ability to handle routine questions and analyze feedback, I can see how that's a massive time saver. But nutrition is so visual too, right? Recipes, progress photos, educational charts. Where does Cloudinary come in?
Exactly. Cloudinary is all about media management, but optimized for performance. Nutritionists use so much media. But manually tweaking a high-res photo or video so it works perfectly in an email, on your website, and on Instagram, it's tedious.
Ugh, tell me about it.
Right. So connect Cloudinary to Make.com. When you upload media, Cloudinary automatically processes it, resizes it, optimizes it for fast loading, and makes it ready for any channel. So that PDF recipe guide, your client gets it instantly, looking professional on their phone or desktop. It really boosts the perceived quality of your service.
Okay, that makes a big difference. And the last piece, Apify. Building a custom app used to be crazy expensive. Why is this piece important for loyalty now?
Apify lets folks like solo nutritionists build their own custom client portals, no coding needed. And this is critical because it dramatically upgrades the client experience, which is key for retention. Instead of messy email threads, clients log into their space. They track progress, book appointments, access their meal plans, maybe plans with content pulled from Cloudinary.
It all connects.
Exactly. And that portal syncs instantly with your other systems via make.com. It makes the client feel like they're part of a really professional, modern system that makes them stick around longer and honestly prouder to tell their friends.
It's becoming really clear. It's not about any single expensive tool, but the smart combination, creating that big business efficiency on a small business budget. Okay, we get the toolkit. Now, let's talk practical application. How do these 5 actually power those 4 growth strategies our sources mentioned? Referrals, follow-ups.
What's fascinating here is how it shifts the whole dynamic. Instead of just reacting to whatever comes in, you're proactively generating growth. This combination means your practice can literally be building referrals and repeat business while you're asleep or, actually with a client.
Okay, let's unpack strategy 1. Automated referral incentives. Usually, this is a nightmare, right? You have to remember to ask, then track who referred whom, maybe manually send a discount code.
Yeah.
It falls apart so easily. How does the automated system fix this?
It makes it seamless because it's triggered by data. Let's say a client logs their final session, or maybe they hit a specific weight goal that's tracked in their Apify portal. Make.com sees this success milestone. It updates your CRM. Maybe that's a Notion. And that milestone instantly triggers OpenAI. OpenAI drafts a super personalized thank you message. It includes a unique referral code just for them, maybe tied to a special offer. Then make.com makes sure that code is tracked. When someone uses that code, Make automatically triggers whatever needs to happen to fulfill the incentive. You, the practitioner, did 0 manual work after the initial setup.
That is seriously robust. Okay, strategy 2. Streamline follow-ups. This is about re-engagement, right? Getting clients back who finished a program but could benefit from ongoing support. Often that's where things just fizzle out.
Exactly, the fizzle factor. This stack prevents that. You decide what counts as disengagement. Maybe it's 90 days since their last appointment, or they haven't logged into their Apify portal for, say, 3 weeks. Make.com is watching for those triggers.
Like a quiet monitor.
Precisely. Once triggered, OpenAI generates a gentle follow-up. Not pushy, just a helpful nudge. Could be an email, could be a push notification through their Apify portal. It's scheduled automatically, maybe suggesting a check-in or mentioning a new seasonal program.
Right.
It completely replaces that horrible task of manually scrolling through old client lists, trying to figure out who to contact.
Yeah, I hate that task. Okay, strategy 3. Content that nurtures loyalty. Posting good, consistent content. It builds trust, but it's often the first thing to get dropped when you're busy.
Absolutely. And this is where Cloudinary and OpenAI really team up. Consistent quality content keeps you top of mind. So a client gives you permission to share their success story, maybe a photo or a testimonial. You upload the media to Cloudinary.
Which optimizes it.
Right. Then Make.com can slot that optimized media into a pre-designed social media post or newsletter template you have stored in Notion. But here's the cool part. OpenAI can look at the client's actual testimonial, analyze the positive language, and draft several different caption options or maybe a short paragraph for your newsletter.
Oh, that's clever. Takes the writing burden off, too.
Totally. So the system helps you quickly and professionally repurpose that inspiring content. You're consistently sharing valuable stuff, maybe visual proof of results, which really nurtures loyalty in your existing client base.
Okay, this leads perfectly into the last strategy, which sounds the most advanced. Insight-driven personalization. This feels like something usually only huge companies with data science teams could do. But you're saying solo practitioners can leverage this too. How?
This is where it gets really interesting, because it moves your outreach from just guessing to being based on actual evidence. You can use specialized OpenAI tools or features within broader AI platforms to analyze unstructured feedback.
What do you mean by unstructured? Like just type comments?
Exactly. Comments from their Apify portal feedback forms, replies to emails, notes from post-session surveys, stuff that isn't just checking a box. The AI reads all this text and looks for patterns, things like keyword clustering, sentiment analysis. Are people generally positive or negative? Topic modeling, what specific things are they talking about?
Okay, so what does that tell you?
Well, for instance, it might find that 80% of your happiest, most successful clients specifically mention the convenience of your program in their feedback. Boom. That insight tells you exactly what to highlight in your marketing, or maybe what features to double down on in your service.
So you're not just automating sending messages, you're using automation to learn who your best potential referrers are, the really happy ones.
Precisely. And maybe just as importantly, why some clients might not be coming back. You can spot common roadblocks or frustrations much earlier.
And then tailor your communication or even your service based on that data.
Yes, it's about finding those common threads. If the AI flags negative comments about, say, scheduling difficulties, Make.com could then maybe prioritize a task for you to review your scheduling process or prompt you to implement a new scheduling SOP you've already drafted in Notion. It creates this powerful feedback loop, constantly improving your practice based on data you already have but probably weren't systematically analyzing before.
Let's make this concrete. Tell us about that anecdote from the sources. How did this play out for a real nutritionist?
Right, there was this example of a nutritionist totally swamped with the admin around tracking client meals in progress. So they used Apify to build a simple, private dashboard for clients. Clients could log meals, see tailored recommendations, book follow-ups easily.
Making it super convenient for the client.
Exactly. That alone boosted engagement because it felt professional and modern. Then, Cloudinary made sure all the recipe guides and any progress photos looked perfect and loaded instantly. And they paired this with Notion checklists, simple guides for when and how to ask for referrals or feedback. Plus, they used AI to help draft those feedback request emails. The whole thing became a smooth, repeatable cycle.
And the result?
The practitioner cut their admin time by almost 40%. And they saw a real trackable increase in referrals because clients loved the high-tech, high-touch feel, even though a lot of the back-end process was automated.
That kind of efficiency gain is just transformative. It really changes the potential of a small practice. And we have that quote from Kendra Smith, the business operations coach, basically saying this is becoming the standard, right?
Yeah, Kendra Smith puts it perfectly. She says, and I'm quoting here, AI-driven automation levels the playing field for small businesses. Nutritionists who use these platforms consistently outpace peers who try to do it all manually. They spend more time with clients and less on admin, which clients appreciate.
That's the core of it, isn't it?
It really is. The automation isn't about replacing the expert's human touch. It's about freeing up the expert to be better at the human part, the part clients value most. Plus, the consistency and professionalism that comes with these automated systems, flawless delivery of materials, timely reminders, high-quality visuals that builds trust. And trust is everything for loyalty and referrals.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture, the main takeaway is pretty clear. You slash the time spent on tedious admin, you manage to stay in touch with clients much more consistently, and you make it super easy for happy clients to spread the word. And it's all done using these accessible tools working together. No need for a giant IT budget.
Which, this raises an important question. I think for every wellness entrepreneur listening, the next few years, maybe the next decade, it's going to be defined by who adopts these smarter, integrated ways of working. Automated referrals, sophisticated loyalty programs. They aren't just for the big chains anymore. They're absolutely within reach and maybe even necessary for the solo practitioner who's ready to build this kind of integrated system.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, the central idea to take away is this. Getting effortless, sustainable growth in this competitive field isn't really about working harder hours. It's about working smarter. By orchestrating these kinds of platforms using Notion for your knowledge base, OpenAI for intelligent communication, Cloudinary for your visuals, Apify for that slick client interface, and Make.com tying it all together, you can genuinely revolutionize how your practice operates and grows.
And maybe just one final thought to leave you with, drawing from the material. If we accept that admin time is often the biggest thief of time that could be spent on deep client work or relationship building, and we see that strategic automation can solve this huge pain point in a business context, well, what other routine, non-client-facing tasks or admin burdens exist in your own life outside the clinic? Could identifying and automating one of those free up more time for the relationships that truly matter to you personally? Just something to think about, applying the principle more broadly.